So friends, this is Harjinder Gill show, and as I have already mentioned earlier, today we have Honourable Minister Mendicino with us. He's Canada's Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship. Minister, welcome to the Harjinder Gill show.
Thank you, Harjinder, and a belated happy Vaisakhi. 𝗚𝗲𝗱𝗶, 𝗚𝗲𝗚
𝗚𝗲𝗚 ki khalsa, 𝗚𝗲𝗚 ki fateh. Thanks for the greetings, Minister. And I think it's almost 6 months since we spoke last time, and that time it was regarding parents and grandparents program. And today we are going to talk about the residency for 90,000 application, and especially that is for essential temporary workers and international graduates. Let's start with this new pathway. What is the main focus, and how did you decide on this policy?
The main focus of this announcement is to recognize the extraordinary contributions of essential workers who are lending their hand to a number of important sectors, including in the healthcare sector, where doctors, nurses, and support workers have been working around the clock now for well over a year. And I want to say a big thank you to them, but they need reinforcements. And the newcomers who are already here in Canada, who are working in the healthcare sector, who are working in the building and trades sector to build our infrastructure, who are working in the trucking industry to make sure that Canadians get access to their goods, are already contributing to the economy. And so what we have done is we have created a fast, inclusive, and innovative pathway for up to 90,000 newcomers who are already in Canada. And this is going to not only help us achieve our 2021 immigration levels plan by counting them towards those goals, but it will also be a pathway to prosperity for all Canadians. So very good news. Right.
Minister, normally whenever these kind of announcements come, people get excited, and especially with this news and with this new program or with this new announcement, where we have different categories and almost 90,000 applications, not almost exactly 90,000 applications are going to be submitted for this new pathway. But at the same time, there are some confusions because it's not easy to understand the policies while you just read them online and you just read the press notes and press release and just read on the website. How would you be making sure that everybody is getting right information in a right way?
Well, first, you are absolutely right, Harjinder, that there is a lot of enthusiasm and excitement about this pathway, and that is because it is going to recognize and provide certainty for up to 90,000 newcomers who are already in Canada. And what that means for them in practical terms is it means that we will address the uncertainty of their future. And again, I want to just highlight the fact that we recognize that the people who are working in the front lines of our hospitals, the newcomers who are in our long-term care homes, who are nurses and caregivers and personal support workers, has been so important to provide Canadians with the health care that they need as we fight COVID-19. And so in recognition of that, we now have a pathway for them to become permanent residents that will be fast. And what does that mean? It means better job security in the short term, better long-term career horizons for them in the long term, and it will encourage them to put down roots in Canada. So that's why there's enthusiasm. That's why there's a lot of excitement about this, and this is unprecedented. That's the first thing. The second thing, Harjinder, is that we will communicate in very clear language what the requirements are for this program. And so let me just give you a quick summary. There are 3 streams to get to 90,000. The first stream is that we will allot 20,000 spaces for newcomers who are working in the healthcare sector. And again, doctors, nurses, caregivers, and custodians who are keeping our health system clean and safe and secure. There's 30,000 spaces allocated for other essential workers in a variety of fields, including, as I said, in the building and trades, in the food and the agricultural sector, the people who are working on farms, making sure that Canadians get access to safe and affordable food. And in those 2 streams, those 50,000, Okay? You need to have 1 year of Canadian experience and be employed. Then the remaining 40,000 will be allocated to recent international students who graduated from a school in Canada and a job in hand. Now, that is very straightforward, but we will continue to put all of the requirements online, and my department will be ready to take questions from applicants to ensure that they can make their way through the process.
Right. Okay. When we talk about the time, it's May 6th to November 5th. Any specific reason for this time span?
Well, we are putting in place this special public policy as a program because we are still operating in the pandemic. And this is an exceptional measure. And to be clear, we will open the program on May 6th. We will keep the program open for 6 months, or when we hit the caps of the program. And I will say that in the meantime, I am encouraging candidates to begin to get their papers in order, but we will make sure that there is a smooth rollout of the program. We know there's excitement, we know there's enthusiasm, but we have put in place additional people on the front lines of the department to process these applications in an efficient and fast manner.
Right. There must be hundreds of thousands of people waiting for these kind of programs or announcements. And here we have 90,000 applications, which is the maximum number. Do you think that would be enough? And when we talk about the different three different streams, only we have 20,000, 30,000, and 40,000 split within those three different categories. Do you think that's going to be enough to serve these type of people who are waiting for their PR?
I think admitting 90,000 under this program is a very big step towards accomplishing our 2021 immigration plan. And as a percentage of our overall economic immigration for 2021, it represents a significant percentage. And the fact that there is a lot of demand goes to show that we are introducing smart and attractive immigration policy choices that is designed to attract the best and the brightest from around the world, and also to keep them here. And that's really the point, is that this is about putting in place a program that represents another step on the journey to coming to Canada, becoming part of your community, giving back, and then hopefully having you stay. We know that these folks who are in this, who are going to be eligible, are here on a temporary basis right now. But despite the fact that they are only here on a temporary status, doesn't mean that we don't want them to stay. We do. We recognize that their contributions are so important. And that's why there's a lot of demand for this program. And that's why we created it. We created it because we embraced the arguments of, people who had studied this issue, immigration, economy, and how they go hand in glove. And we have been, I think, widely, commended by business leaders. If you look at what the Canadian Chamber of Commerce has said, the Business Council of Canada, labor leaders, people who work in the immigration sector, all of them have said that this is a very good policy that will help more essential workers and recent graduates stay in Canada. Good for them, good for Canada.
So, Minister, in respect of the new public policies, there is a lot of confusion regarding the point, especially where it says applicants have to be in Canada. Would you elaborate on this point, please?
Well, our point was putting more of a focus on the temporary immigrants who are already in Canada, who are already working, and providing them with the certainty of a pathway to permanent residency, particularly because we're still in the midst of a pandemic. And because of that, we have travel restrictions which are in place at the border to reduce the spread of the virus. So and it's not just Canada, it's the whole world that is still very much operating at a reduced travel capacity, because we're all worried as a planet about containing the virus. So in that context, we asked ourselves, how can we continue to meet our immigration objectives? And we came up with this policy, which, again, really shone a light on the contributions of newcomers here on a temporary status, workers who are, again, working in the hospitals, long-term care homes, farms, building and trade sector, and provided them with a pathway. That's why we put the focus on that population.
So the applicants have to be present in Canada until they get the PR, and they can't leave the country until the whole process is complete. Is that right?
They need to be in Canada
all the time.
Be employed in Canada, and make sure that they fulfill all of the other requirements of the program. And again, this will be spelled out very clearly on our website.
Mm-hmm. Even in case of any emergency, if somebody needs to leave the country, so they will be disqualified?
No, I'm not saying that, but I do want to take you back to our requirements, mm-hmm. which is you need temporary status in Canada. Mm-hmm. You need to be employed in Canada. You need to have 1 year at a minimum of employment experience in Canada, depending on the stream, maybe
before we apply?
Correct.
Before May 6th?
Correct.
Okay.
In order to meet the requirement, or before you apply. Mm-hmm. I mean, it could be that, you are, let's say, 1 day short of 1 year of Canadian experience on May 6th, but maybe on May 7th, you hit your 1 year anniversary, then you qualify, or maybe that you hit your anniversary on June 1st. It's as of the moment that you apply.
So I'm sorry, I just wanted to hear that again. So in case of, in any emergency, if somebody needs to leave Canada, what will happen with their application?
Well, again, these decisions will be carefully taken by my delegated officials.
Okay.
The department is responsible for applying the criteria, not me as the minister. The department will. We set the criteria, the department applies them. But I will just come back to assure your listeners that each and every one of these applications will be processed in an efficient, fair, and transparent manner, and we will explain the requirements very clearly on our website.
So, Minister, the next thing is there are some so-called consultants out there, and they have started to make some fraudulent activities under this new pathway, especially in terms of IELTS dates and few other things. Are you aware about that?
Well, I am extremely concerned about anybody, fraudster or criminal or otherwise, who would try to take advantage of a newcomer. Mm-hmm. Before I got into politics, I worked as a federal prosecutor in the criminal justice system. I think it is very important that we hold people to account. And that's why we have invested additional money into law enforcement. And there have been charges that have been laid against those who are trying to take advantage of vulnerable newcomers. And in addition to that, I'm also steering the creation of a new regulatory college for immigration consultants. And what that will do is it will protect newcomers by making sure that those who are certified are clearly identifiable. And to newcomers who may be listening to your program, to your radio show, Harjinder, I would say be very careful and cautious. Do not just provide people your personal information, and definitely do not just provide people your credit card information right out off the top, because those are two flags for anyone who is maybe a scam artist or a fraudster.
Right.
And in the meantime, we'll keep making sure that we publish information on our website that is clear, that really does help applicants guide their way through this new program, and in fact, all of our programs. And that is a big part of how we have managed to create one of the best immigration systems in the world. And many people have recognized that. Mm-hmm. And the whole point behind that, having a system that works, that people can have confidence in, is it provides the kind of pathways that we announced earlier this week. A pathway to opportunity, a pathway to a better career, a better life. That's how we get out of the pandemic, and that's how we create the long-term prosperity that has been one of the hallmarks of Canada.
Minister, thank you so much for your valuable time for our listeners, and now we'll wind it up with your closing remarks.
Harjinder, always good to be with you, my friend. I really appreciate you giving me some time to explain this policy. I'm the son of an immigrant family. I feel very privileged to be able to continue to contribute to this work. Canada is an open, an inclusive country, and we are going to get through this pandemic together. And we're going to continue to get out of this pandemic by making sure that we choose smart immigration policy like the one we announced earlier this week. And it was really good to be able to talk a little bit about that with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Minister.
All the best.
Thank you so much. So friends, this is Harjinder Gill show, and we were with our Honourable Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, Minister Marco Mendicino. We'll be back after a short break.
For all our latest updates, please subscribe G Media Group YouTube channel and press the bell icon.